As just mentioned, the interview is shining a light on mental health after Meghan Markle told Oprah Winfrey there was a time she was having suicidal thoughts.
And joining us live to share his insights on this is Dr. Jonathan Goldfinger, the CEO of D.D. Hirsch Mental Health Services. Dr. Goldfinger, good to see you again. Thank you so much for the time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Well, doctor, first off, let's talk about the public stigma of mental health. How does Meghan Markle being so open about her struggles help others?
Well, we know whenever a public figure talks about their feeling or mental health, it normalizes it for the population. It really brings it out of the shadows or stigma that enables other people to talk about it and get the help they need.
And doctor, she said that she put on such a brave face. She had to smile when the cameras were there. But, what are the signs of depression then for those close to us?
So the first thing is obviously profound sadness, though you don't always see it, feeling hopeless or helpless, people talking about just their life not being what they would like it to be. The next is change in interests, just not enjoying things, not being as engaged. People are often feeling guilty about life, not necessarily anything in particular. They may seem to have less energy or even struggle to think clearly or concentrate. Often they'll have changes in appetite or weight, up or down. And they can also even look like they're moving slowly, like their life is in slow motion, even to outsiders. And then lastly, of course, they may mention or they may not, but they may feel thoughts of suicide.
Goes to show you we never know what's really going on behind the scenes, doctor. So how can people help those that we see are in need?
The first thing to do is to ask. If we don't ask, we don't know, and we can't help. So if you suspect that anyone is experiencing thoughts of suicide, ask. You can't hurt someone by saying, have you thought about ending your own life or hurting yourself? In fact, you can only help. Studies show when you reach out like that, there's a good chance that they will get help themselves. The second is obviously safety first. If there is any concern about an emergency, someone has a weapon or is on a bridge or something serious, call 911. The police are specially trained often to address mental health issues. And the third is to call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline that we staff at D.D. Hirsch 24/7 in English, Spanish, and other languages at 1-800-273-8255. And that number is there for a person who may have the thoughts, as well as concerned friends or family members to walk you through how to support them.
Yeah, I know you guys are working closely now with the LAPD on just this. Doctor, but what about those who are in need of help? And I hope Meghan is a rare case. She says she asked for it, she didn't get it. But how can that person ask for support?
It's a very hard thing to do often, and that's why we've spent the last 25 years at D.D. Hirsch trying to erase stigma by elevating and honoring people who've actually come out and asked for support. But they should feel, to the best of their abilities, comfortable finding someone who can help. It's not always mental health counselors or therapists right away, though of course those are trained professionals. Sometimes it's the comfort of that 800 number in your own home when no one's around, 1-800-273-8255. Sometimes it's a member of the clergy, a teacher, a coach, or a trusted friend. And just let them know how you're feeling. And we ask the public to learn to sit there and listen without any judgment and to be a support. And when people reach out for help, they're likely to get it.
I certainly hope so. Doctor, thank you so much for the time and the insight. More to come on this in the coming days, I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, really great advice. Thank you, doctor. And if you're in crisis or know someone who is, there is help out there, as we've been talking about. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK or text HELLO to 741741.
All right, let's talk about our weather forecast. I can feel the clouds starting to rise. Well, I saw them, but I can feel the change in temperatures too.
Oh yeah, big changes here in Southern California as we head into the next few days. So today, even though we did see some sunshine,